Lacey, I heard something about you. Is it true you don't have real parents?
What? I'm sorry, what exactly are you trying to say?
At the family introduction meeting, you called yourself Jared's sister, didn't you? But the truth is you're adopted, right? You're not even blood related to him.
What? Oh, well, it's true that I was adopted, but you're wrong about the rest. There's still a blood relationship between us. The couple who adopted me are actually my late biological father's older brother and his wife. In other words, Jared and I were cousins to begin with.
Oh, cousins. Well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't change the fact that you've got someone else's blood running through your veins. At the end of the day, you're not a real sister. You never were, and you never will be.
Excuse me, but what exactly are you trying to say here? This is your wedding day. It's supposed to be a joyous, peaceful occasion, so why would you make comments like this? Why would you go out of your way to stir up unnecessary trouble?
You really don't get it, do you? I'm saying your very presence here is the problem.
What?
You being here, it's irritating. You get on my nerves, you always have. You're just someone who lucked out and got adopted by your rich uncle and aunt. You're only where you are because of that. Because of the connections you gained from them, you were handed the Chicago branch to manage, like it was some kind of gift. Meanwhile, Jared, who's their real child, is still stuck as a department manager. That's as far as he's gotten. Your parents died, everyone pitied you, and then you were spoiled. All that sympathy turned to opportunities for you, didn't it? But let's face it, that's all it is. The world felt bad for poor orphan Lacey, and that pity carried you to where you are now. But don't you think you're taking life way too lightly? You act as if everything just naturally belongs to you. People like you disgust me. You take advantage of your tragic circumstances to climb your way up in life. You exploit everyone's kindness and sympathy, sucking up the benefits like a parasite. You're not family. People like you don't deserve to call themselves family. You don't belong here. I don't want you at my wedding. I don't want someone like you celebrating this day with us. There is no seat for you at this table. You're not blood. You're just an outsider. Leave.
What?
You heard me. Get out. Leave the venue right now. And while we're at it, you should quit the company too. That position you have, you don't deserve it. It's not yours. And just so you know, I'll be talking to Jared and his parents about dissolving your adoption. It's only right after all. You're not one of us.
Jared told me he had already explained my circumstances to you. He said he told you about my situation and the reasons I joined the company, but clearly that wasn't enough. If you're going to reject me so thoroughly, then I have nothing more to say. I have no intention of ruining your wedding day. I wouldn't want to disrupt this celebration any more than I already have, so fine, I'll leave. If that's what you want, I'll go. As for quitting the company or dissolving the adoption, those are separate matters. That's not something we can resolve here today, but for now, let's just say I'm feeling unwell and leaving the venue early. I'll make sure to say it was because of a sudden illness or poor health. I'll cover for you. But you should really watch what you say. Be careful with your words. There's no need for this to escalate further.
Oh, whatever. Sure, fine. Do what you want. You're leaving is all that matters.
Good. Then I'll go.
Yeah, bye. Good riddance.
Goodbye. Forever.
Lacey! I heard you told Mom that you're leaving the wedding because you're feeling unwell. Did you already head home?
Oh, Jared, I'm sorry about that. I think I might have been a little too tense. I ended up with this splitting headache, and I decided it would be best to leave. I feel bad about leaving an empty seat in the family section, but honestly, sitting there and trying to endure the pain would have been impossible. It would have just made a scene.
Is that really true?
What?
I'm asking if you're really not feeling well. I mean, are you really sick?
Jared, what are you saying? Why are you looking at me like that? You're starting to scare me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to come across that way. I'm not trying to scare you. It's just, when Mom told me about you leaving, Shelby was there too. At the time, she said all the right things. She told us she was disappointed to hear you wouldn't be attending. But then right after that, when she turned her back on us, I caught a glimpse of her face in the mirror on the dressing table.
Her face?
Yeah, it looked Weird. She had this faint smile on her face, almost like a smirk. It was subtle, but it didn't look right. It didn't look like someone who was genuinely disappointed. It looked off.
Jared, are you sure you're not just imagining things?
I wish I was, but it wasn't just me. Mom saw it too. So it wasn't just my imagination.
I see.
That's why I need you to tell me the truth. I don't care what it is, just be honest with me. To tell you the truth, this isn't the first time. At the family introduction meeting, there was another moment that bothered me. When you left the table after talking to Shelby, I happened to see her face. For just a split second, she looked like she was biting into something bitter. Her expression twisted just for a moment. I thought I was imagining it back then, but now...
Jared...
If you're really feeling unwell, then that's one thing, but if you're not...
I see. I didn't want to ruin your special day, Jared. That's the only reason I kept quiet. But since you're asking, there's no point in hiding it anymore.
What do you mean?
I'll send you the message history I had with Shelby earlier. Take a look at it and decide for yourself.
Understood. Send it to me right away. Lacey? The wedding's been called off. It's over.
What?
Dad and Mom just spoke to Shelby's father. That's it. It's been decided.
I see.
If Shelby tries to contact you, don't respond. Not for now, at least.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just leave it. Also, don't go back to the house in Chicago yet. But at the same time, waiting at our family home might not be a good idea either.
Wait, what do you mean?
While I was talking to Mom and Dad, one of my colleagues, who I invited to the wedding, came up to me and mentioned something concerning.
Something concerning?
I'm sorry, but I'll explain the details later. Right now, I need to deal with the venue and figure everything out.
I understand. I'll stay out of the way for now. Don't worry about me. I'll find a place to kill some time. Maybe I'll head to a cafe and catch up on work while I wait for your next message.
Thanks, Lacey. I'll talk to you soon.
Lacey, what the hell did you say to Jared? The wedding just got called off out of nowhere. This is all your fault, isn't it? Do you realize what you've done? My father is furious with me. He is blaming me for everything. Why am I the one taking all the heat? I can't even begin to understand how this is happening right now. Hey, answer me, Lacey. Don't you dare ignore me. I know you're getting these notifications. You're reading them, aren't you? Don't pretend you're not. Lacey! Damn it. Explain yourself. What the hell did you do?
Shelby, 300 missed calls to Lacey throughout the night? That is absolutely insane! You need to stop this right now!
What? I was just thinking that Lacey, who caused our engagement to fall apart, should be held responsible for it. She has to face the consequences of what she did.
Lacey is not to blame, Shelby. In fact, I'm actually somewhat grateful to her, because if it weren't for her, I might not have realized how you really feel. It's actually a good thing, believe it or not.
What? You're grateful to her? How can you say that? She's the reason everything's falling apart between us. And on top of that, I am also incredibly disappointed in you. You didn't even bother to listen to the important things I've been trying to say. You've been completely ignoring what I needed to share with you.
What? Important things? What are you talking about? You're saying I ignored something important? I don't even know what you're talking about. You didn't realize this before because your last name changed after your parents got divorced, but I found out that the part-time office worker Rachel over at the Chicago branch is actually your biological mother.
What? Wait, what? Rachel is my biological mother? You're saying that Rachel, who works as a part-timer in the office at the Chicago branch, is my real mother?
Yes, that's right. I found out through a colleague who overheard some drunken gossip at a party. It seems your mother has been working under Lacey, who is the branch manager at Chicago. So tell me, how long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me?
Well, it's just that my mom said Lacey was being sneaky. She was acting in a way that didn't sit well with her, and she made me think that there was something fishy going on.
Sneaky? What are you talking about? How is Lacey being sneaky? You're really not making any sense here.
My mom's been really upset ever since Lacey took over the Chicago branch. She says Lacey's still too young and that she only got the position because she's been coddled and favored too much. Apparently, my mom thinks Lacey doesn't deserve to be the boss, especially at such a young age. She's worried about how the company will fare under her leadership. So she thought that as the future wife of the next president, I should convince you, the future president of the company, to demote Lacey. My mom wanted me to tell you that it would be better to take action to get rid of Lacey before things go too far.
Wait a second. You think I'm going to be the president? Who told you that?
Huh? But you're the son of the current president, aren't you? I just assumed that since your father is the current president of the company, you'd eventually take over. It's obvious, right?
Well, Shelby, that's not exactly the situation. The company was originally founded by Lacey's father, my uncle, back when the company first got started. But he and his wife tragically passed away in a car accident when the company was only in its 7th year. After their death, my father, who had experience in the same industry, stepped in and became the 2nd president of the company. Now, my father has made it clear that if Lacey is serious about continuing the family legacy, and if she truly has the talent for business, he'd love for her to take over as the 3rd president of the company.
Wait, what? Lacey's father was the one who started the company? I never knew that. That's completely new information to me.
Yes, that's right. Lacey has been involved with the company for a long time now. From her college years, she started working part-time to help out. Over time, she became more and more skilled, and by the time she graduated, she had already earned the trust of the employees. That's why, when we decided to expand into Chicago 3 years ago, my father chose Lacey to be the branch manager.
Is that true? But my mom never mentioned anything about this. Why would she keep all this information from me?
Well, that's the thing. I heard that your mother was hired as a part-timer about a year ago, and that's when she found out that I was your boyfriend. But she had no idea about the bigger picture, the full context of Lacey's role at the company.
Oh, I see. So you're saying my mom only knew part of the story and misunderstood everything? She just jumped to conclusions without understanding the full picture?
Exactly. That's why she started making all these assumptions and telling you things that weren't true. It seems like she only heard bits and pieces of the situation and formed a biased opinion based on that. I'm starting to realize now that everything she said to you was based on incomplete information, and because of that, she passed along a very distorted view of things to you.
That's just ridiculous. So you're saying it's all my mom's fault? Is that what you're implying here? She's the one who twisted everything. That's the reason we had to break up?
No, Shelby, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to point out is that you didn't take the time to listen to both sides of the story before jumping to conclusions. You've been so quick to believe everything your mom told you without ever considering the possibility that there might be another side to the situation. That's where things went wrong.
But I was just trying to trust what my mom said. How could I know any better? She's my mom. Why wouldn't I believe her?
But that's the problem, Shelby. You only heard her side of things, and you didn't even consider coming to me for clarification. It would have been much better if you had come to me or even my parents to ask for our side of the story, but you didn't. Instead, you made assumptions and jumped to conclusions without any real understanding of what was going on.
I didn't realize that I was making such a big mistake. I thought I was just doing the right thing by trusting my mom. But I see now that I didn't really think things through, and that's why this whole situation escalated the way it did.
Yes, and that's why I'm so disappointed in you. You've been so quick to judge and act on partial information, and now look at what's happened. We're on the verge of ending everything because of it.
But I never wanted any of this to happen. I didn't want to hurt you, Jared. I was just trying to do what I thought was right.
I know you probably didn't intend for things to get this bad, but the truth is you never gave me a chance to explain anything. If you had, I could have cleared up everything and we could have avoided all of this. But now it's too late. The trust is gone.
Jared, please. I really didn't mean for this to happen. Please, can we just talk about this more? Let's fix this together.
Shelby, I don't think there's anything left to fix. The damage has already been done. I've made up my mind. We'll handle everything through lawyers from now on. Goodbye, Shelby. This is it.
Jared!
I returned to Chicago and got back to my routine of calmly going about my work. But the situation around me was far from ordinary. First, Jacob, who had been caught as Shelby's biological mother's office associate, was absent without leave for a prolonged period and was eventually fired. Meanwhile, my brother was in the midst of discussions about breaking off his engagement. Shelby was quite stubborn and wasn't willing to listen, which delayed the resolution of the matter. It ended up taking 3 whole months to reach an agreement. In the end, my brother and Shelby decided that they would split the costs of the wedding that my brother had initially been paying in full. As for the cancellation fees for their honeymoon, Shelby would be the one to cover them. In a small but significant twist, my brother also ended up receiving a modest amount of compensation as part of the settlement. A little while after that, Shelby found herself deeply in debt and paid off all her outstanding amounts. She then unexpectedly showed up at her mother's place in Chicago for reasons that were unclear. To everyone's surprise, they ended up living together. The strange part was that they were both unemployed, and for 2 months they couldn't come to an agreement on who would be the one to get a job first. The situation became so contentious that eventually they were both kicked out of their apartment. Since then, I've lost track of what happened to them. The last I heard, I didn't know where they were or what they were doing. The entire series of events was a whirlwind, and everything unfolded so quickly. It felt like it was impossible to catch up. Shelby, once so determined and independent, ended up in a situation where her plans crumbled and left her with nowhere to turn. My brother, on the other hand, had tried to salvage his relationship with her for so long, but in the end, it seemed like the right decision to end it. They had both suffered in different ways. My brother had invested so much into the relationship, both financially and emotionally, and it seemed that he couldn't continue living with the betrayal of her actions. The emotional toll it took on him was clear, but the financial strain was even worse. The wedding costs alone had been a significant burden, and now with the cancellation fees for the honeymoon added to that, he had to adjust his life accordingly. Looking back, it was difficult to understand how everything had unraveled so quickly. Shelby had once been a promising and ambitious individual, yet she found herself trapped by the decisions she made. There was a part of me that felt sorry for her, but there was also a part of me that understood why my brother couldn't keep supporting her. They had both made choices, and the consequences of those choices were now inescapable. As for Shelby's return to her mother's place, it was hard to imagine how it all worked out. The two women, both without jobs and both struggling in their own ways, had a complicated dynamic. They hadn't been close before, but now they were thrown together in an attempt to navigate their lives. It wasn't the kind of situation anyone would want to find themselves in, yet there they were, both searching for stability in a world that had proven unpredictable and unkind. 2 months of constant arguments about who would be the one to find work was an exhausting ordeal. It wasn't just about money anymore, it was about power, control, and desperation. Each day, it seemed like the tension grew thicker, and the frustration was palpable. When they were kicked out of their apartment, it felt like the final straw. The once comfortable living situation had deteriorated to the point where they couldn't even keep a roof over their heads. Now, as time had passed, I wonder where they are and how they're managing. I never expected that things would escalate in such a way, but life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges at people. It's strange to think about how quickly things can change and how lives can shift in the blink of an eye. The fact that I've lost track of them is almost fitting in a way. It's as if they've fallen off the radar, their paths diverging from mine in a way I never anticipated. In the end, the whole experience was a reminder of how fragile plans and relationships can be. No matter how much we try to control our lives, there are always variables that are beyond our grasp. Shelby's decisions, my brother's commitment, and the aftermath of it all serve as a lesson in how quickly things can unravel, and how sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we can't undo the damage that's already been done. Now, as I reflect on it, I realize that there's nothing more I can do for them. Their story has taken its course, and I have to accept that. All I can do is move forward with my own life, hoping that they eventually find some kind of resolution, even if it's not the one I would have hoped for. The past is behind me, and all I can do is focus on the future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Douglas, just how close are we to reaching the monthly contract goal I set? We've only got 3 days left in the month and time is ticking. Where do we stand?
Good evening, Alfred. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I'm actually on a business trip starting today for the next 3 days.
What? What do you mean you're on a business trip?
I submitted a formal request in advance. You approved it, if you recall. I made sure all the paperwork was filed well ahead of time, and the notification went to you as well.
Approval? I don't remember giving any approval for this.
Regardless of whether you remember or not, Alfred, the request was submitted and it went through the proper channels. You signed off on it.
I told you I don't remember anything like that. If I don't remember it, it didn't happen. If I say I didn't give approval, then that's the end of it. My word is final. End of story. Now about the contracts, how close are we to meeting the quota? I'm telling you there are only 3 days left and I don't want to hear excuses.
You know, it's a little unusual to set a target this close to the end of the month, especially with only a few days remaining to hit it.
Consider it a warm-up for next month. You can think of this as your practice round, so you'll be ready to hit the ground running when next month starts. You've been here long enough, you should be used to these kinds of targets.
Before we continue, may I clarify something?
What is it now? You're already testing my patience, Douglas.
In the sales department, as far as I understand, we've never enforced individual quotas for each salesperson. Our system is built around team performance and overall department targets. That's how it's been, and that's the policy set by the company president himself. We report total contracts at the end of the month, but individual quotas? We've never done that. You've been a part of this department for a while now, so surely you're aware of this policy.
Yeah, that might have been the case up until yesterday, but things are different now. The president's away on medical leave, and while he's gone, the company's number 2, our vice president, is in charge of everything. So while the boss is out, the vice president is making decisions. And one of those decisions handed down from the top is that we're moving to individual quotas. Every salesperson is going to have to meet specific contract numbers from now on.
This is the first I've heard of this change.
Well, of course, you're hearing about it now. You weren't at work today, were you? We had a briefing this morning where this was all discussed, but since you were off on your little trip, you missed the entire thing. So yeah, no wonder this is news to you.
As I mentioned earlier, this trip was approved, Alfred. It wasn't some last-minute decision. Everything was properly documented.
I don't care. Approved or not, that doesn't change the fact that we have new targets, and if you're not meeting them, it's going to be a problem. If you haven't hit your numbers yet, you need to get back here immediately and start closing contracts. I don't care where you are or what you're doing. That's an order from me, your superior. And don't think you're getting any special treatment just because you've always been at the top of the sales leaderboard. That doesn't mean you're exempt from the rules everyone else has to follow.
I'm sorry, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently about 3 hours away from the office.
3 hours? Where the hell are you?
And in the next couple of days, I'll be even farther away. So it's not feasible for me to come back to the office.
What? Are you kidding me? Then turn around and start heading back here right now. I don't care where you are. Get back here immediately.
I'm afraid that's just not possible, Alfred.
Not possible? What are you talking about? This is a direct order from your superior.
Look, Alfred, I'm sorry, but I'm currently working alongside someone else and they're calling for me right now. I really need to attend to this, so I'll have to excuse myself from this conversation. Goodbye.
Douglas, wait a second. Who is this person you're working with? You're probably just out there with some junior employee from another department, right? There's no way this trip is that important. You should be prioritizing my orders, not running around with some underling. You're supposed to listen to your boss. Douglas, answer the phone! You'd better pick up the next time I call or you're gonna regret it. Do you have any idea what's gonna happen the next time you set foot in this office?
Kylie, can I talk to you for a bit?
Of course, Douglas. Hey, aren't you still on that business trip? How's it going? You must be completely wiped out by now, huh?
Yeah, you know how these trips are. It's been exhausting, but I'm pushing through. Thanks for asking, though.
I figured. So, what's up? You reaching out to talk to me about work stuff? Something going on at the company?
Yeah, exactly. I got this weird message earlier today from Alfred, you know, the sales manager. He was going on about how there were only 3 days left in the month, and suddenly, out of nowhere, he's talking about quotas. He said something about hitting a specific number of contracts by the end of the month, and get this, he hinted that this whole quota thing will become a regular thing starting next month.
Wait, what? Quotas? That's odd. I mean, I'm not in the sales department myself, as you know, but from what I've heard from some of my colleagues, it seems like the vice president is up to something. Like he's taking advantage of the fact that the president isn't around right now, and he's just going off and doing whatever he wants. It's almost like he's using this chance to push his own agenda or something.
So that's what I thought too. I had this feeling that the VP was pulling some strings, especially with the president out on medical leave. It just feels like a power play, doesn't it?
Exactly. And you know what? Even though I'm not directly involved, I've been hearing rumors. Apparently there's more going on behind the scenes than just a push for more contracts. There's been talk in the break rooms and among some of the senior staff that the vice president is actually aiming for something bigger. Some people think he's trying to consolidate power while the president is out. If he can pull it off, he might be able to secure himself more control over the company permanently.
Man, that's exactly the vibe I'm getting. But seriously, imposing quotas right now? The company's production lines are already running at full capacity. The factory is working flat out to handle the current workload, so it doesn't even make sense to push for more contracts. If we start taking on more work without increasing production capacity, we're gonna run into major problems. It's like they haven't thought through this at all.
Yeah, that's the big issue. If they push the sales team to bring in more contracts, the factory's going to be overwhelmed. There's only so much production can handle at once. And as far as I know, there's no plan to increase capacity or hire more workers. So what's the plan here? To stretch the current workers even thinner? It's going to backfire.
Exactly. It feels like they're putting the cart before the horse here. Instead of figuring out how to expand the production side of things, they're just blindly pushing for more sales. It's frustrating, you know? This kind of management is what leads companies into trouble. And to top it all off, Alfred, who's temporarily in charge of sales, seems to be fully on board with this new quota system. He's acting like it's the greatest idea ever, but I'm not convinced.
Alfred, huh? Isn't he the one who stepped in after the sales department head went on maternity leave?
Yeah, exactly. The department head, Mariah, is on maternity leave and she's planning on taking the full year off. So Alfred's been running things in her absence, but honestly, he's not doing a great job of it. The guy's always been a bit too eager to please the higher-ups, and now with the VP pulling the strings, he's just going along with whatever crazy ideas get thrown his way.
Well, that's not good. If Alfred is just going to go along with everything the vice president says, things could get even worse. I mean, what happens when the president comes back and finds out what's been going on? Or worse, what if the vice president actually manages to take control before the president returns? If the company's leadership keeps going in this direction, it could seriously hurt us in the long run. And with our wedding coming up, I'm a little anxious about what might happen. I don't want us to be caught in the middle of a corporate meltdown.
I totally understand your concerns, Kylie. I've been thinking the same thing. But honestly, I don't think it'll get that bad. I've actually been talking to some people in the company, including the section heads in the sales department, and they're not happy about the new quotas either. In fact, most of the team isn't planning on following through with these ridiculous demands. And I had a conversation with your dad, too, the factory manager. He's fully aware of the situation, and he's made sure that both the production and sales sides are on the same page. They're not going to let this get out of hand.
Wait, you've already talked to my dad about this? I had no idea you were coordinating with him behind the scenes. Is there something bigger happening here? Are you guys planning some kind of resistance?
I can't say too much right now, Kylie. There are some things in motion, but it's not something I can talk about yet. Just trust me when I say that we're working on it. The situation isn't as dire as it might seem, and we're not going to let the VP's crazy plans ruin everything. The people who care about this company are still here, and we're not going to let it fall apart.
That's reassuring. I guess I was starting to worry a bit too much. I mean, I trust you, Douglas, and I know you'll do whatever it takes to make sure things don't spiral out of control. It's just everything feels like it's happening so fast. And with the wedding coming up, I just wanted to make sure we're set up for the future, you know?
Yeah, I get it. And I promise you we're going to be fine. The wedding, our future together, none of this corporate nonsense is going to derail any of that. I've got your back, and I'll make sure things stay on track.
Thanks, Douglas. I really appreciate that. You've always been so level-headed about these things. It's one of the reasons I love you.
And I love you too, Kylie. We'll get through this, just like we've handled everything else. Now I better get back to work before Alfred sends me another one of his ridiculous messages. Hey, good morning, incompetent one. Looks like you couldn't hit your target this month, huh? Good morning, Alfred. I don't recall doing anything to deserve being called incompetent by you. What's going on? Well, today marks the start of a new month. From today onward, I'm going to be setting some strict performance targets. And just for you, I'll be implementing them starting now. You know why? Because you skipped the last 3 days of the month and didn't even bother to inform me about it. Those 3 days were supposed to serve as a warm-up period, but instead you just slacked off. So I'll be setting even stricter targets for you compared to everyone else in the company. I've already explained multiple times that those 3 days were a business trip. It was fully authorized and I followed all proper procedures to get the time off. I don't understand why you keep bringing this up. Frankly, it's getting old and tiresome. It seems you don't understand your position here. I've got the vice president backing me, who is currently the acting head of the company. If I decide to, I can fire you anytime I want. You should really keep that in mind. I see. So what you're saying is that you and the vice president are actively trying to push me out of the company. Am I understanding that correctly? Well, that really depends on your attitude and how you respond to this situation. Is that so? All right then, I'll submit my resignation right now. What? Wait, what? I'll go ahead and hand it in during the next company-wide meeting. That way we can make it official and get everything sorted out. Huh? Today isn't even a day for a full company meeting. What are you talking about? Oh, didn't you hear? There's an emergency meeting happening this morning. No one told me about this. It was a direct order from the president. The president? Wait, the president is back at the office? Yes, the president returned to the office today.
Already? I thought they were on medical leave for a longer time.
Well, it seems the medical leave has been postponed. Apparently, there were some urgent matters that needed addressing before they could take time off.
Urgent matters? What does that even mean?
Well, considering the recent developments in the company, it seems the president wanted to ensure everything was under control before stepping away completely.
That's all well and good, but what does that have to do with me?
Oh, by the way, Alfred, I haven't seen you around this morning. You didn't happen to miss today's start time, did you?
What do you mean? Of course I'm here.
Really? Because it doesn't seem like you're at your desk right now.
No, I'm just handling some things. I had a few urgent matters to deal with.
Handling some things? Is that what you call it? Seems more like you're trying to avoid your responsibilities.
I'm not avoiding anything. Look, this is all just a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding, huh? It's funny how you always seem to have an excuse ready when things don't go your way.
Excuse? I'm not making excuses.
You're being unreasonable, Alfred.
Unreasonable? You think I'm the unreasonable one here? You were absent without a word for 3 days. Do you understand how that affects the entire team? We rely on each other, and your lack of communication puts everyone in a tough spot.
Listen, I had my trip approved and I did everything by the book. I don't see how this is my fault.
Oh, come on. You're really going to stand there and tell me that? We both know the company has expectations and you failed to meet them. You should be taking this seriously.
Taking it seriously? You're the one who's acting like a child. Just because you have some newfound authority doesn't mean you can dictate how everyone else should work.
Authority? You think I'm doing this because I enjoy it? I'm just trying to keep things running smoothly. You, on the other hand, seem to be intent on derailing everything we've worked hard for.
Derailing? Don't put that on me. You're the one who seems to be out of touch with reality if you think your threats are going to intimidate me.
You think I'm threatening you? I'm just laying out the facts. You either step up or face the consequences. It's really that simple.
Simple for you to say, but what do you know about the work I do? You're just sitting in your comfortable chair throwing around orders. It's frustrating.
Frustrating? You have no idea what frustrating means. But I guess you wouldn't know given how you've been coasting along without any real consequences so far.
Coasting along? How dare you! I've worked hard to get where I am, and I won't let you undermine my efforts with your petty games.
This is about accountability. If you want to stay in this company, you need to start acting like it. Otherwise, you might find yourself out the door sooner than you think. Hey, Douglas, what about the morning meeting?
It's already finished.
What?
Oh, I should let you know I submitted my resignation letter in front of all the employees.
You really did that?
Well, to be precise, it was a resignation request, but when I handed it to the president, he cheerfully dismissed it, saying, "What is the next president doing?"
Wait, next president?
In line with the transition of the company's top position from the vice president until yesterday, I acted accordingly. However, the president, who has returned today, didn't grant my resignation, so I will continue to be a part of this company.
Yay, what do you mean you're the next president? Isn't the next president supposed to be my uncle, the vice president?
To be exact, I'm at the stage where I've been asked to be the next president after the next one. It's certain that a new president will be coming soon, but it's definitely not the current vice president.
What?
They'll be establishing a new structure once everything is settled.
A new structure? What do you mean by that? Are you saying there's going to be a major overhaul in how things are run around here?
Yes, exactly. The current management will undergo some changes, and I think there will be new roles assigned to everyone.
I can't believe this. So you're saying you're essentially in line to take over? What's gonna happen to all of us in the meantime?
From what I gather, the president is keen on restructuring to make things more efficient. It sounds like we might see some significant shifts in responsibilities, and I guess you'll just have to wait and see how it all unfolds.
This is all happening so fast, it's hard to keep up. Are you ready for all of this?
Honestly, I have my reservations, but I think it's an opportunity to make a difference. Plus, with the current vice president stepping back, it feels like a chance for fresh ideas to be implemented.
You really think you can handle it?
I believe so. There's a lot at stake, and I want to make sure that the team is well supported through this transition.
I guess we'll have to see what happens next, huh? The fact that both the vice president and I are under house arrest is absolutely unbelievable! Why is this happening?
Do you really not have any idea?
What are you talking about?
I'm referring to the former sales manager who left the company 6 months ago after being held responsible for a massive loss.
Huh?
And the former sales assistant manager who was demoted and had his salary cut 3 months ago for losing a contract with a major client and was subsequently transferred to the E-Town sales office.
Wait, what?
You genuinely don't remember anything about the treatment of these two individuals?
What are you saying?
If you still think no one has figured it out, I can only say you have quite a delusional mind.
What are you suddenly talking about?
In reality, both of these situations stem from your mistakes, right? You cried to your uncle, the vice president, and successfully pinned the blame on both the former manager and the former assistant manager, securing the vacant manager position for yourself. Meanwhile, your uncle was preparing to set you up as the manager to finally take down the president, who's been a thorn in his side for a long time. Then the news came that the president was going into medical treatment.
What?
Your plan was to seize control of the company by acquiring a large number of new contracts and expanding the business. You thought that by building up your achievements as a manager, you could force the president into retirement and solidify your position. Alfred, you imposed stringent sales quotas on your subordinates in the sales department just as you were told.
You're spouting completely unfounded accusations. If you keep dragging my uncle and me into this, I will sue you.
If you can, go ahead.
What?
I was on a business trip accompanying the president to directly meet with the former manager and the former assistant manager.
What?
There were many employees who were already on their side, and evidence of their innocence has been steadily gathering. All I needed to do was confirm the earlier conjectures and ask how they wished to proceed, and the former manager stated that he is already working in a different company and has no intention of returning. The former assistant manager expressed a desire to be reinstated to his previous position and salary, but they both share a common wish to sue you and the vice president for damages.
Sue for damages?
Regarding that, the president is preparing a lawyer for both of them.
A lawyer is getting involved?
The disciplinary actions from the company are a separate issue altogether.
What?
I believe you will receive further communication regarding this, so it would be wise not to take any unnecessary actions and simply wait patiently.
Are you serious? This definitely means I'm going to get fired.
You really ought to start connecting the dots, Alfred. This situation doesn't look good for you or the vice president. The board will be taking a closer look at everything that has happened over the past several months. The two of you have created a mess that's now come back to bite you.
So you're saying it's all over for me?
You've been in a position of power, but that power has also brought you a lot of scrutiny. It's not just your actions, the implications of those actions have put a spotlight on both you and the vice president. The way you've handled the sales quotas and shifted blame is creating an environment of distrust among the staff. People are starting to talk.
I can't believe this is happening! I thought I was doing what was best for the company, pushing us forward. It seems like every step I took to improve things is now being twisted against me.
Yes, well, that's what happens when you prioritize your interests over the company's welfare. It's become quite clear that you were more focused on your ambitions rather than fostering a healthy workplace culture. That's going to come back to haunt you.
So, what do you suggest I do? Is there any way I can salvage this situation?
I'd say you just sit back and stay quiet while the investigation goes on, and then prepare yourself to be let go by the company and have to find yourself a new job.
But I don't want to go!
To sum it up, the vice president was dismissed, and Alfred faced disciplinary termination. Both of them ended up leaving the company as a result of these actions. This news spread among our relatives, leading to a declaration of estrangement from the entire family. Although they now have to work to pay off the debt incurred from the compensation claims filed against them, the harsh penalties from their previous positions have made their job searches unsuccessful. As a result, they find themselves forced to take on low-paying jobs, struggling to make ends meet. This situation has led to a life of hardship for them. In the aftermath of these events, the company decided to reevaluate its structure, appointing the factory manager as the new president. I was honored to take on the role of the president's secretary. From here, I will begin my training as a prospective future president. With a wedding planned for next year, I'm determined to focus and work hard in my new position. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Denise, do you have a minute? I need to ask you something really important. Huh? Lori, it's been forever since I heard from you. What is it? You only contact me out of the blue like this when something big is going on. What's going on? I know. I should have reached out sooner, and I do feel guilty about that. But this is really important, and I need your help. Please, just listen to what I have to say. All right, I'm listening. But let's be clear, Lori, whatever you need, I'm not sure I can help with. I've had enough of these things coming up out of nowhere. But go ahead. What's so important that you needed to get in touch now? Well, to get straight to the point, Jack and I are getting a divorce. Wait, what? Divorce? But you guys seemed fine. I mean, from the outside, everything seemed all right. How did this come about? I know. It seems like everything was fine, but really, it wasn't. The thing is, both Jack and I agreed on it. We're both in agreement that it's the right thing for us. The issue now is Roger and his custody. Jack refuses to give up custody of Roger, and that's where things are getting complicated. I can't let this happen. I have to make sure I get him. Roger's custody? Wow, that's a big deal. I mean, I'm not surprised, I guess, but, well, it's been hard for both of you. But really, Lori, you're asking for my help with this? You want me to intervene in custody? Do you honestly think I can help in this situation? Please, Denise, you're the only one I can turn to. I've tried everything else, but Jack won't listen to me, and I'm scared he's going to win this. I need your help convincing him just to get him to see things from my perspective. If you can just help me with that, I'll do anything. Please, I can't lose Roger. You know how much he means to me. Lori, I don't know about this. I'm not sure I can just get involved in this. Custody is a huge thing, and I really don't think it's as simple as you're making it out to be. I mean, come on, this is Roger we're talking about. You haven't been around much for him, have you? You know, if I think about it, you've hardly been involved in his life lately.
What are you talking about? I've been busy, sure, but that doesn't mean I haven't cared for him. I send money every month. I do what I can, don't you see? It's just that things have been so hectic with work. And you know Jack doesn't help either. I've been stuck in this situation where I have to be the one to figure it all out. I am doing the best I can.
You're doing your best? Lori, honestly, if you were doing your best, would you really leave him with us all the time? You barely even visit him. And you're right, Jack doesn't always help, but that doesn't mean it's right to let someone else step in like this. You've left Roger with us since daycare. Do you know how that looks? You have to understand how that affects him.
I didn't think about it like that. But it's just, things have been so difficult lately. I've been running around trying to get things done. It's been overwhelming. Jack is hardly around. I can't even catch a break. So yes, I've left Roger with you guys, but I've always made sure he's taken care of.
Lori, let me be honest. You send money, yes, but that's not enough. You don't see your son, and you barely make any effort to change that. I understand that work is tough, but Roger isn't just some accessory you can leave behind. And let's be real here. You've had months, even years to put things in order. You haven't prioritized him, and now you expect me to help you just take him away from the life he's known? It's not that simple.
What are you saying? Are you telling me I don't care about my son? How can you say that? He's my child. Of course I care. Don't act like you understand how hard this is for me. It's easy for you to judge me from the outside, but you have no idea what it's like to be in my shoes.
Lori, don't take this the wrong way, but I've seen the reality of the situation. You talk about caring, but actions speak louder than words. If you cared, you would have made more time for Roger no matter what. Jack may be absent, but so have you. You can't just come to me now and expect me to fix everything. You've left me and my family to pick up the pieces for too long.
I know I've messed up, okay? I get it, but I'm asking for your help now. Just help me convince Jack to let me have custody. Please, Denise, I'll make it worth your while. I'm not asking for much. All I need you to do is to speak to him. Help me convince him that Roger should be with me. Isn't that something you can do?
You think I can just talk to Jack and convince him to change his mind just like that? You've been absent for so long, and now you expect me to fix this in one conversation? You have had so many chances to be there for Roger, but now you want to take him from the only stability he's had? I don't think you realize what you're asking me to do.
I understand it's not easy, but Denise, don't you care about Roger's future? I need to have custody for his sake and mine. If I don't, I won't be able to move on. I need this to move forward in my life. If Jack doesn't let me, I'm stuck. I need your help to make sure he sees that it's what's best for Roger.
Lori, let me ask you this. Do you even know what's best for Roger? You think custody is the answer, but what about his emotional well-being? How do you think he'll feel being ripped away from his home, his friends, the only family he knows? You want to make this about you, but it's not. This is about Roger's life, and you're asking me to turn it upside down for you.
I'm not trying to hurt him. I just want what's best for him, Denise. I can't do this without your help. Please, you have to understand. I need to be the one to take care of him. If Jack keeps custody, I'll lose everything. I'll be financially stuck, emotionally stuck. This isn't just about me. This is about our future.
I get that you're in a tough spot, but you can't expect me to just hand over my responsibility to you. You can't make this decision alone. It's not just about custody. It's about Roger's happiness. If you're not here for him now, why should I believe you'll be there for him in the future?
Because I will. I'll change everything. I'll do whatever it takes to make this work. I can't lose him, Denise. Please.
Lori, this isn't just about what you want. You need to think about Roger and his future. What happens when you get custody? Can you really handle everything by yourself?
Yes, I can. I've been through a lot already. I just need your help to make it happen.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I can help you with this. I need to think about what's best for Roger, not just what's easiest for you. If you really care about him, you'll figure out another way.
So you're just going to stand by and watch me lose everything? You can't do this to me, Denise. You don't understand. If I don't get custody, my life is over. I won't be able to move on. I won't be able to live.
I understand that you're struggling, but I can't just give in to pressure. I'm thinking about Roger's future, and I have to do what's best for him. I won't be a part of something that could hurt him in the long run. You have to face the reality of the situation. Wait, please don't tell Jack. Please, don't make this worse. I'll do anything. Just don't send him those screenshots. Please, I'm begging you. It's too late for apologies now. You had a chance to make things right, and you didn't take it. I'll talk to Jack, and we'll figure this out for Roger's sake. You can't just walk away from this. It's time to be responsible. Denise, please, I don't know what else to say. You've got to understand how much this means to me. I don't want to be a bad mother. I never meant to be distant, but life just got in the way. You know what it's like, right? You've been so busy with your own family, too. And Jack, he's barely around anymore. I've been fighting to keep everything afloat by myself. I'm only asking for a little help from you, just a little. Lori, I do understand being busy, but that's not what I'm saying here. You say you're fighting, but you haven't fought for Roger. Not the way a mother should. You can't just show up after all this time asking me to put him in your arms and as though you've been there all along. It doesn't work like that. It's not just about helping you. This isn't a favor. You've been absent, and now you want me to undo everything just because you've decided you finally want him back? It doesn't make sense. I get it. Okay, I understand how you feel. I've been absent, but I've never stopped thinking about him. I don't think you realize the toll it's taken on me. Every day, I feel like I'm suffocating. I can't stand seeing Jack with him, taking all the moments I should have had with him. I'm not asking you to just hand him over. I want you to understand that I can make things right if I get the chance. You think you can make things right? You've been absent for so long, Lori. You left him with us when he needed you the most. And I get it, work, life, everything piling up, but you need to understand that a child can't just be left in the background. Roger's been through so much already. How do you think he's going to feel when you suddenly swoop in and demand custody like nothing happened? How do you think I feel watching this all unfold? You don't think I've thought about this 1,000,000 times? Every day I'm away from him, it eats at me. But what do you want me to do? I can't just stop everything and come running to him. I have a job, responsibilities. I don't have the luxury of being at his side every second. But I can be there for him now. I can make up for the time I lost. And that's where I'm struggling, Lori. You keep saying you'll make up for lost time, but how do you actually do that? Time doesn't just come back. You can't rewind and undo what you've missed. Roger's not a doll you can just pick up and continue playing with. He's a little boy who's had his own life, his own needs, and for better or worse, he's been growing up without you. How can you fix all of that in one fell swoop? How can you prove that you're capable of giving him what he needs now? I can prove it. I can show him that I'm here. I'll take time off work. I'll hire help if I have to. I can't do it alone, but I'll make sure he's okay. He deserves to have a mother who's there for him every step of the way. I know Jack's been doing his part, but I'm his mother, Denise. Why can't you see that? I'm the one who gave birth to him. He is my son. I should be the one raising him. It's not that simple, Lori. Yes, you gave birth to him, but being a mother is about more than just biological ties. It's about presence. It's about support. It's about consistency. And Roger has been getting that from Jake, from my family, from all of us. He's been living with us for so long now that it's impossible to ignore the bond he's formed with us. You can't just waltz in and claim him now as if nothing has changed. This isn't just about what you want. It's about what's best for Roger. You think I'm just being selfish? Is that it? You think I don't care about what's best for him? I am doing this for him, for his future. I need this, Denise. Without Roger, I don't have a future. I'll be a failure in his eyes. I'll lose everything I've worked for. I can't go back to a life where I am nothing more than a visitor in his world. And if Jack gets custody, that's exactly what I'll be. Well, that's too bad, Lori, but there's no use crying to me about all of that anymore. I have to get going now since it's time for the kids to go to bed. If you have anything else to say, wait for Jack's lawyer to get in touch with you. And if you try contacting me any more about this, I will block your phone number. Denise, no! After that, Lori fought for Roger's custody through a lengthy court battle, hoping to regain her parental rights. However, despite her efforts, she suffered a crushing defeat in court. The judge ruled against her, and in the end, she was ordered to pay damages. On top of that, her access to Roger was severely restricted. It was decided that she could only see him 2 or 3 times a month, a far cry from the regular visits she had hoped for. Despite this setback, Lori refused to give up. She continued to try to assert her presence in Roger's life. She showed up at my house numerous times, insisting on seeing him, sometimes even trying to take him away without permission. Each time I had to step in and defend our boundaries. There were moments when I had to protect Roger from her attempts to forcibly take him, and I called the police several times to ensure the situation didn't escalate further. It was a difficult and exhausting period for all of us. At times, I found myself questioning how far Lori would go to get what she wanted, and the constant tension in the air was draining. I knew that Roger needed stability, and I couldn't allow his life to be disrupted by someone who had shown such a disregard for his well-being. My husband and I did our best to maintain a calm and safe environment, but it was not easy when Lori's actions constantly threatened that peace. After several incidents, Lori eventually seemed to realize that her aggressive approach was getting her nowhere. The repeated confrontations with the police, the legal consequences of her actions, and the mounting pressure seemed to have a sobering effect on her. Slowly but surely, she stopped showing up. We didn't hear from her nearly as much, and eventually, she seemed to disappear entirely. It was a relief, though I couldn't help but wonder if it was just a temporary pause or if she had truly given up. In the meantime, Roger was adjusting to the new reality. The situation had been incredibly stressful for him as well. He was torn between his biological mother, who he still loved and wanted to be close to, and the life he had with us, which had become his new normal. My husband and I, along with Jack and my in-laws, discussed what was best for Roger moving forward. We all agreed that it was important for him to have a stable and loving environment, one where he felt secure and valued. After a lot of thoughtful discussion, it was decided that Roger would continue to live with us, just as he had been. We promised to take care of him with love and dedication, ensuring that he had everything he needed to grow up in a safe and supportive home. This decision was not made lightly, but we all believed it was the right thing for him. It was clear that Lori's behavior had caused enough disruption and confusion, and it was essential for Roger to feel that he had a solid foundation. The support of my husband, Jack, and my in-laws was crucial during this time. They stood by us as we navigated the complexities of the situation. Jack, in particular, had been an incredible source of strength. He was understanding and patient with Roger, providing the emotional support that he needed without pushing him too hard. He had always been a good father figure to Roger, and now, more than ever, it was clear that Roger needed that kind of stability. I also made sure to maintain a sense of consistency in Roger's life. I continued to encourage him to build friendships, to engage in activities that made him happy, and to feel empowered by the love and care he received from our family. It wasn't always easy, as there were moments where Roger would express confusion or frustration about his situation. But we did our best to assure him that he was loved and supported no matter what. In the months that followed, we watched as Roger slowly adapted to the changes in his life. He started to find comfort in the routine we had established for him. We continued to provide him with emotional support, reinforcing the idea that his feelings were valid and that he didn't have to choose between his biological mother and us. He could have both in different ways, but his primary home, his place of safety, would always be with us. Though Lori had tried so hard to disrupt our family, in the end her actions only strengthened the bond between us. The love and commitment we showed to Roger, the way we stood by him when things got tough, helped him realize that we were the ones who truly cared for him. We had always put his well-being first, and that's what mattered most.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Harper, is this a good time?
Good evening, Harper. Yeah, I'm free now. What's up?
So this is kind of sudden, but do you have any plans for dinner on February 14th?
February 14th? That's a Wednesday, right? I don't have anything specific planned, but I'd probably just be home around that time.
What about your husband?
He has work as usual, but unless he has to stay late, he should be back by then. Why?
Well, it's Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I was thinking, how about we throw a Valentine's party?
Party?
Yeah, you know how lately everyone's schedules have been all over the place? We haven't been able to meet for coffee, lunch, or anything. So I figured since Valentine's Day is already a fun event, why not turn it into an excuse to get everyone together?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right, and since it's Valentine's Day, I thought it would be fun to make it a family event. Husbands, kids, everyone together. We can exchange chocolates, have some good food, just enjoy the evening. And before you ask, I am totally fine with hosting at my place.
That sounds really nice, actually.
Yes, and here's the fun part. I was thinking, instead of just giving chocolates to our own husbands and kids, we could do a little chocolate exchange for everyone.
Wait, so you're saying we'd be giving chocolates to each other's husbands, too?
That's the idea, like a friendly chocolate exchange, just for fun.
I don't mind if it's clearly just for fun, but do you think any of the other moms would be uncomfortable with it?
Oh, I checked. Everyone's cool with it. Since we'll be handing them out in front of everyone, it's obvious that they're just obligatory chocolates. No hidden meanings, nothing weird, just a fun little thing.
Well, when you put it that way, it does sound harmless. I guess it could be interesting, but are you really okay with all of us invading your house?
Of course. My husband already gave me the green light. Also, okay, I'll admit, there's another reason I want to do this.
Oh?
I recently bought a fondue set, both a chocolate fondue pot and a cheese fondue pot, and I really want an excuse to use them properly.
Oh, so that's what this is really about.
I mean, not only that, but yeah, it's definitely part of my motivation. I figured what better time to go all out with a chocolate fondue fountain than Valentine's Day.
You really planned this well, huh?
Of course, and think about it, chocolate fondue and cheese fondue. That's like two completely different kinds of indulgence in one night.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. That does sound pretty amazing.
Right? The only thing is, I'll probably ask everyone to bring a dish or something just to make sure we have a good variety of food. But aside from that, it'll be super chill.
That's totally fair. Who else did you invite?
Just our usual lunch group, so Riley and Kelsey's families too.
Oh, that's perfect. That way it won't feel too overwhelming.
Exactly. I wanted to keep it small so it still feels personal and comfortable, And since we all already know each other, there won't be any awkwardness.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's nice when you don't have to do the whole getting to know each other small talk.
Exactly. So what do you think?
Hang on, my husband just got home. Let me check with him.
Sure, I'll wait.
Okay, I asked him. He says he'll be off work at his usual time, so it works. Also, when I told him he'd be getting extra Valentine's chocolates, he got way too excited.
That sounds about right. The way to a man's heart is through chocolate.
I swear, he was already thinking about what kinds of chocolates he might get.
That's the spirit.
So, I guess we're in.
Yay! I'll sort out the details and send a message later.
Sounds good. Thanks for organizing this. Looking forward to it.
Hey, thanks again for today.
No, thank you. We totally invaded your house, but we had such a great time. My husband and daughter are still grinning from all the chocolate they got, me included. We were just talking about how much fun it was on the way home.
Especially your husband, right? I bet he was the happiest one of all.
Oh, totally. He was trying to play it cool, but I could tell he was thrilled. Back when he was single, he used to get a fair amount of chocolates every year, even if a lot of them were just obligation chocolates. But after we got married, people stopped giving him any.
Makes sense. Probably out of respect for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he complained or anything, but, I think part of him did miss that little tradition. So when he walked out of your house today with a handful of chocolates, he looked way too pleased with himself.
That's so cute. I mean, I get it. It's nice to be appreciated even in a small way.
Yeah, he was even teasing me, like, looks like I've still got it, huh?
Oh wow, full confidence mode.
Right? I just rolled my eyes at him, but honestly, it was kind of funny seeing him that happy.
Well, can't blame him. Your husband is tall, good looking. I totally got the "this guy was probably popular" vibe when I first met him.
Oh, stop. But thanks.
I'm just saying, if we did a who got the most chocolates count, I feel like he might have won.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'll let him have his moment.
He deserves it. Anyway, I'm really glad you guys could come. It wouldn't have been the same without you.
Aw, thanks. And yeah, same here. The chocolate fondue was a huge hit, by the way. None of us have ever done it before, so it was a fun first-time experience for the whole family.
Right? There's something so satisfying about dipping fruit and marshmallows into a huge pot of melted chocolate. I don't know why we don't do it more often.
Seriously, my daughter was so into it. She was already asking me if we could get our own fondue set on the way home.
Looks like I've started something.
You really have. Anyway, thanks again for hosting.
Of course, let's do it again sometime.
Definitely.
All right, see you at the preschool drop-off. Yep, sleep well.
You too. Good night. Raquel, do you have a minute?
What is it?
So, about the Valentine's chocolates.
Yeah, is something wrong with them? Did you not like them or something?
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just the chocolate muffin you gave me. Was it, by any chance, from that fancy chocolate shop near the station? You know, the one with all those limited edition chocolates and exclusive items?
Huh? Wait, was that mixed in with the rest? I didn't even think to check where it came from.
Yeah, it's just that my husband, he got one of those muffins. The packaging was exactly the same as the shop's.
Oh, maybe I messed up and mixed things up? I was actually planning to give that particular muffin to my husband, but maybe I put it in the wrong bag by mistake. I didn't realize it ended up with you.
Is that so?
Oh, but don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad. No need to return it or anything like that. I gave it to you as a gift, so please tell him to enjoy it on my behalf. I'd be happy if he liked it.
Yeah, okay. But there's something else. See, there was also a message card that came with it. It said, "I love you. If you feel the same way, send me a message." Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Wait, what?
So you're saying you did know about it?
How do you even know about the message card?
Well, I didn't want to bring it up and seem rude since you were the one who gave it to me, but my husband, he likes chocolate, but he's not really a fan of muffins. So I figured my daughter and I would just eat it instead, but when we opened it, there was that card. I'm pretty sure you didn't mean to send a message like that to us, right?
Oh, wait. Maybe it was meant for my husband. I'm starting to think I mixed it up. The wrong muffin went to the wrong person. I was probably so rushed that I made a mistake.
So it's an honest mistake then?
Yeah, I think so.
But see, there's a problem. If that muffin was meant for your husband, then what's the deal with the "I love you" message and the part where you ask him to reply? That's not exactly something you would send to someone who's already married, is it?
Well,
I'm not trying to be rude, but if you're already married, you wouldn't need to say something like that to anyone. You've crossed that line a long time ago, haven't you?
So wait, you're accusing me of something? Are you saying that I'm cheating on my husband with yours or something?
No, of course not. I'm not accusing you of that at all.
Oh, thank goodness. You really scared me for a second.
You were trying to seduce him, weren't you?
Huh? What? Why would you say something like that? I didn't seduce anyone. Sure, your husband's good looking, but that doesn't mean I'm trying to pull something behind anyone's back. Please don't make this into something it isn't.
Riley's dad and Kelsey's dad.
Wait, what?
I know this is hard to believe, but we've confirmed this already.
Wait, what do you mean confirmed it?
Well, while I was sitting there thinking about what was going on with this whole chocolate muffin thing, I got a call from Kelsey's mom. She was wondering about the same message, so I talked to Riley's mom, and guess what? Turns out all 3 of the dads who came to your little Valentine's party yesterday got the exact same message with their chocolates.
No way.
Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but that's why I'm asking. Do you have an explanation for this? You invited us to your house and you called it a Valentine's party. But really, it was an excuse to give your love chocolates to other people's husbands. Do you think that's okay?
You're seriously going there? You're making me sound like some kind of villain. Just because I gave some chocolates doesn't mean anything is going on.
I'm not saying you're a villain, but look, depending on your explanation, things are not going to end well for you.
Are you seriously saying everyone is ganging up on me? All I did was give chocolates.
If you have a legitimate reason, then fine, explain it. But this isn't something a married woman with children should be doing. You know that, right?
Love is freedom. I believe in following your heart and doing what feels right.
That kind of excuse works if you're single. You can't say things like that when you're married. If you were just some random single person, I might understand, but not now. I'm being honest with you. My husband saw that message card and he was disgusted. He's completely turned off by it.
Wait, what? Are you saying that he didn't like my confession?
Are you for real?
Of course not. If he had any sense, he would be creeped out by a married woman giving him love notes. But just a little bit isn't bad, right?
Are you serious?
Do you even know what the other parents are calling your husbands at the kindergarten? They call them the handsome dad trio.
What? Yeah, it's ridiculous, but true. They're all good-looking guys, and honestly, you got lucky landing one of them. So now, after everything, you think it's okay to ask for a turn with them? You really think that's fair? No, this isn't about fairness, it's about wanting a little taste, just one time. You've completely lost it. You can't be serious. You don't get to borrow someone's husband for a day just because they're attractive. That's not how it works. What's the problem? Is it really that hard to share a little bit of happiness? Excuse me? That's not how relationships work. You can't just take whatever you want because you're feeling entitled. Well, you know what? Your husband is a nice guy. He's a good father. He's everything a woman could want. Oh, really? Well, if you think so highly of him, why don't you just take him? I'm sure you'll be much happier with him than I am. What? Yeah, go ahead and take him. I mean, he's not getting any younger, and my mother-in-law is the worst, so feel free to trade. No way, I'm not swapping my husband with yours. You're just being stubborn. You can't take a little joke. No, this isn't funny. You're out of line. You need to stop with this nonsense before it gets worse. And by the way, did you even realize that Riley's dad is inside your house right now? Wait, what? Yeah, I'm serious. He's inside. Looks like he took you up on your invitation. No, that's not possible. I guess he's a little too excited about your message. He came right over to your place. You probably told him to come over, but now it seems like you've changed your mind, huh? Wait, what? Let me explain it clearly. He got the message from you, he opened the chocolate last night, he saw the card, and instead of being confused or uncomfortable, he decided to send you a message. He must have gotten so excited about it that he forgot to throw the message card away. And guess who found it? Riley's mom. She found the card and she was kind enough to give me and Kelsey's mom a heads up. This can't be happening. Did you really think you could get away with this? Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? What kind of man would turn me down? I'm me. I've been the center of attention before, and I can make anything happen if I want it. Oh, really? You really want to go there? You're in your 30s now. Holding on to past glory is embarrassing. You don't understand. And Riley's dad, he's already pulling away. He looks so disgusted you wouldn't believe it. What? Oh, and Kelsey's dad, he's not much better. But honestly, he's just as messed up as the rest of them. He was the only one who didn't immediately shut you down. But I guess that's just how some guys are. Wait, so where is my husband? He's here too. What? We got in touch with him. He left work early to come here. No way. Oh yes, don't worry, he'll be here soon enough. And when he does, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do. No, this is a lie. You're all lying. Do you really think this is just going to go away? This ends now, one way or another. Are you ready for that? Let's have a little chat, shall we? Raquel, under the guise of hosting a Valentine's party, set out to seduce 3 married men. Her plan seemed to be carefully crafted, and it wasn't just a casual invitation. She'd clearly put a lot of thought into it, believing she could manipulate the situation in her favor. The men in question, 3 married individuals, were unsuspecting. They had no idea what she was planning when they accepted the invitation to the party. Unfortunately for Raquel, her plan wasn't entirely successful. Only Kelsey's father ended up succumbing to her advances. The others, despite her best efforts, resisted her attempts to entice them. It was a strange situation, one where the dynamics of a simple social gathering quickly took a turn for the worse. What was intended to be a lighthearted evening of celebration ended up becoming the backdrop to a deeply unsettling scenario. As things escalated, the children, including Kelsey, were hastily sent off to stay with Kelsey's maternal grandparents. It was an abrupt decision, one made with the sort of urgency that suggested something far more serious was unfolding. Kelsey's parents, both of them, were completely unaware of Raquel's true intentions. Their trust in her was shattered in an instant when they arrived at Raquel's house. The scene that awaited them upon their arrival was far worse than they could have imagined. As they stormed into the house, what they found was nothing short of disturbing. 2 half-naked figures were scrambling in a panic on the bed, caught completely off guard by their intrusion. The entire situation was a chaotic mess, one that made it clear that things had gone far beyond a simple party. The shock and anger that must have surged through Kelsey's father in that moment were palpable. Without wasting any time, the couple confronted Raquel and Kelsey's father, and the consequences quickly became clear. Raquel's actions had led to irreparable damage to both her marriage and her family. It didn't take long for the truth to sink in, and the fallout was inevitable. To put it bluntly, Raquel's marriage ended in divorce. It wasn't just an emotional or personal decision, but a legal one. The marriage had been broken beyond repair, and Raquel, despite her attempts to justify her actions, was unable to salvage anything from the wreckage. The custody of their child was awarded to Kelsey's father, a decision that seemed to be a direct consequence of Raquel's behavior. She had proven herself to be untrustworthy, and her actions made it clear that she could not provide the stable and secure environment Kelsey needed. Meanwhile, Kelsey's mother and father chose to separate, at least temporarily. They needed time to process everything, and the strain caused by this betrayal made it difficult for them to remain together. The emotional damage was too deep for them to continue their relationship as if nothing had happened. This wasn't something that could be swept under the rug or forgiven easily. Their separation was, in many ways, the only viable option at that moment. As for the details of the divorce settlement, such as alimony, child support, or any financial compensation, those were things that remained private. It wasn't something that could be easily discussed, given the sensitive nature of the situation. However, what we did learn about Raquel after the divorce was sobering. She had been a stay-at-home wife for years, relying on her husband to support the family financially. Her life, it seemed, had been built on this arrangement, and now, with everything crumbling around her, she had little to fall back on. Raquel's search for employment after the divorce was not easy. Finding a job when you've spent years out of the workforce is never simple, and Raquel found herself struggling to secure any meaningful work. She didn't have the experience or qualifications to land a position that could support her. The job market was far less forgiving than she had anticipated. It wasn't that she wasn't trying, she just couldn't catch a break. With no career prospects and little financial stability, Raquel soon found herself unable to keep up with the cost of living. Her parents, who had always been there for her in some capacity, became increasingly frustrated with her. They had always supported her decisions until this betrayal. They had a hard time understanding how she could go down such a reckless path, and with that, the relationship between Raquel and her parents began to strain. It didn't take long for her to move into a small, rundown apartment. This wasn't a place where anyone would want to live. The conditions were poor, and the apartment was nothing like the home she had once shared with her husband. It was a far cry from the life of luxury she had enjoyed during her marriage. Instead, Raquel now found herself living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet. In an attempt to pay off her mounting debts, Raquel took on multiple jobs. She worked long hours doing whatever she could keep herself afloat. But the money she earned was barely enough to cover her rent and the most basic of expenses. The reality of her situation was grim, and the comfort of her former life seemed like a distant memory. Despite the challenges she faced, Raquel was determined to rebuild her life. However, her efforts were often futile. The emotional toll of the divorce and her subsequent struggles weighed heavily on her. There were days when it seemed like the weight of everything was too much to bear. She had lost her marriage, her child's custody, and the lifestyle she had once known. Now she had to start over from scratch, with nothing but the clothes on her back and a deep sense of regret. Occasionally, I would see Raquel walking through town. She was no longer the confident, glamorous woman she once was. The weight of her situation was evident in her expression, posture, and the way she carried herself. It was clear she was doing everything she could to avoid being seen. She would often duck into stores or cross the street if she spotted someone she knew. The shame was too much for her to face. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.